Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Hijinks and Dungeon World.
Woo!
An actual play Dungeon World live stream with QueueTimes.
Woo!
You were just doing Dungeon World underneath the whole time. Yes, if this is your first time joining us, then cool. Chill in the chat. This is the 16th episode in our series. So
Sweet 16, baby!
Yep.
Birthday party time.
Blow out them candles.
Can we have a birthday party for Garbanzo to celebrate our show's 16th birthday?
All of the other episodes are in a playlist called Hijinks and Dungeon World on the QueueTimes main YouTube channel. In a playlist called Hijinks and Dungeon World. And you can also find that with bit.ly/dunjinks. Capital D, lowercase UNJINKS.
Okay, I want to see how the captains did that. Well, done jinx. That's not too bad.
Okay.
We
super can't.
Sorry.
Can just like talk about the captains.
I know, but I can say one thing the first time we have them on the screen.
Sure, why not? Okay, so yes. You can check all of that out. We used to be a Kids on Bikes campaign. We had a continuous campaign. We have about 50 episodes backlogged of that. We will return to that at some point, but we used to play live in person with each other. And then when everything happened, we went remote and we decided that we didn't feel confident in our ability to continue that campaign at that time. So we switched to this, which is a Dungeon World miniseries. But the other one, which is Kids on Bikes, and Kids on Bikes is sort of like tabletop Stranger Things. That is all also on the QueueTimes main YouTube channel in a playlist called Hijinks and Handlebars. And you can find that with bit.ly/handlestream, capital H, capital S. And all that's there. So join us here. If you like what you see, if you're enjoying this, if you're enjoying our chemistry, go check out the rest of this campaign, the Dungeon World miniseries. And then if you want some more after that, go and check out the Kids on Bikes campaign because it's really great. And we will return to it eventually. With that out of the way, I want to get some thank yous done. Thank you to QueueTimes for hosting us and for keeping our show going through all of these times that we are in, all of these non-Queued times. Specifically, I want to thank Jake and TS Quint for all the time they dedicate to this, mostly Jake here, because Jake's the one I interact with the most and the one that I actually know what is doing. So thanks, Jake. And
thank you, Jake.
yes,
I understand your job to some degree.
Also, thanks to Hunters Entertainment for publishing Kids on Bikes and for giving me a backpack and some dice that are Kids on Bikes branded. Thank you very much for that. Thank you to the artists who have given us art and who we've commissioned art from over the past almost 2 years now. Like creeping up, we're a year and a half, little over, whatever. Our very own Tani Mato here for a lot of our art and the original overlay image that this current overlay is based on. And I want to thank Shannon. That's at Shanyon Canyon on Instagram at SHANYON. SHAN. Why is this weird? SHANYONCANYON.
Just start with HAN. The other ones didn't count.
I think I meant I screwed myself up because I don't usually say at.
Oh yeah.
And I tried this time and it just didn't happen. But that's an Instagram handle. So
those ampersads can really get you.
And then and Tanimato at Tanimato TANIMAYTO. Did I do it?
And hey,
it's under my
page.
Shan.
Yeah, and Shan Murphy also, at Hey Shan Murphy, and also Sarah Baker, which is SV Baker.
No.
Dang it! What is it?
SDAV Baker. SDAVBAKER.
Great, cool. Thank you for all of the work you artists have done. It's been really wonderful, and I look forward to more stuff in the future. Some other opportunities to reach out to people. I want to say hi to the chat really quick. Hi
chat.
Hello, chat.
Living in that playlist these days. Hello, Market Mina. Caring lives. Hello, John. Hello, Wolf Spider is here. Wolf Spider's here, everyone. We got Seventh Cut. Oh, Seventh Cut. You've been here almost every time. We have a tip jar, ! coin, where you can donate money directly to the shows and the casts and everybody here at QueueTimes. That's a direct and actionable way to support us. !coin in the Twitch chat. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can't type !coin, but you can type a comment in the section below.
You can type a comment that says !coin. That would be pretty
do
fun.
that, but I would prefer to hear you say something about the show that I can respond to, because someone else, I won't name names, is going in on a joke that was said on stream and is commenting the word fart on our videos.
Oh my god!
And it's very funny, but I don't know how to respond to it, and I want to say things. I want to have a conversation. I want to say, like,
the lesson is do that comment, say fart, say !coin, say whatever, but also put in a meaningful comment that we can respond to.
I've talked to this person about the show plenty of times. Wolf Spider, I was here last week too, but then a storm came through and knocked out my power.
Oh no!
We restart from about 40
That
minutes
sounds-
in last week. No, I'll catch up.
That sounds
Watch
like
that on YouTube at the same time as you're watching this. It should be fine.
Oh,
that
god.
sounds like a Hijinks Handlebars storyline.
Yeah, it does.
I was gonna say
Yeah.
that too.
I was throwing.
You were probably visited by BB.
throwing Rainbow Love at us on Instagram. Hey,
Ooh,
Yeah.
nice.
I did see that. Thank you so much. That was really wonderful to see. Cool. This show is 99.98% improvised. I don't know what I'm going to say exactly. I don't know exactly what my cast is going to say. So some things might come up that you might find uncomfortable or like personally triggering. So if something like that does happen, take care of yourself. First and foremost, shut the stream off, walk away, do whatever you got to do. We're just a show. You're a person. I would rather you be safe and okay. With all of that said, we are not super edgy. We're not going out of our way to make you uncomfortable in any way, shape, or form. In fact, we're doing the opposite. We try to make sure that our show is as narratively and just comfortable and accessible as possible. But that said, some things that some people find triggering aren't necessarily triggering to everyone. So just some things that have come up in the past, like there's a little bit of like some gore in the last episode, and like we touch on that from here to there. There's fire in like every episode because Dowser does fire stuff. And we've had, it's just like murder and violence, but of the fantasy kind of realm.
I just realized we say that, but I don't know that I did. You like create or use fire last time?
You did.
Did I?
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like you
me.
created your little fire weapon or whatever.
Oh yeah, I did.
I just listened to it today. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, so just be careful with yourself. If you're watching this on YouTube, do the same thing. Stop it, step away, whatever. And if you want to continue watching the show, reach out to us on social media, either at HandleStream on Twitter and Instagram, or you can reach out to me personally at kwilliamwhite on Twitter and Instagram. And I will do the best that I possibly can to recap you on what you missed while leaving out the things that you are not comfortable hearing about. So that you can continue watching the show if that's something that you desire to do. Cool. Well, great. With all of that said, hi, I'm William, they, them, and I am the GM for Hijinks and Dungeon World.
Hello, my name is Jonas, they, them, and I play the Salamander Immolator Dowser, he, him.
Hi, I'm Spencer LaBelle, they, them. I will be playing Denial, the Eladrin Thief, who uses he, him.
Hi, I'm Sam Richardson, he, him, and I am playing Ladislas, the half-elf druid, who is currently using she, her pronouns, but is gender fluid, so might change at any point.
Heyo, I'm Franny, she, her, and I'm playing Brenner, they, them, the human paladin.
And I'm Chris, he, him, playing Din, he, him, the... What was I? The Pelican...
Fighter.
Fighter
Daddy. There we go.
Pelican fighter jet.
Pelican fighter. Cool. Well, this is a show about the end of the world. This is the Hijinks Dungeon World.
Hijinks Dungeon World.
Our cast of heroes here are our found family and foster family that have found themselves in the midst of the end of the world. Some of them are taking it heroically, and some of them are just trying to survive and keep their family safe. Through all of this, they've met a dragon named Carl, a wizard named Gambador the Grump. They've met a dragon turtle named Zaz, a mercenary who is apparently also a chimera named Josh, and
Josh Valjosh, in fact.
Josh Valjosh.
Slash Nicodemus.
and so many more
Right,
things
right.
on their quest in order to either save the world or be okay.
Save the world.
More specifically, what happened last time on Hijinks and Dungeon World.
Ba-ba-da-bum.
Daddy Dindin stopped the big axe, and half giant Garbanzo run over to say "Nuh-uh," and then Daddy Dindin drop it on the ground, making a big dust. A lot of sauce falls down to the earth below, into the valley, through the mist and the fog, and Danail goes, "No, no, not on my watch," and tries to run past the hill giant. Gets over to there and takes the rope and starts heading down to see if he can help Ladislas. Dindin trying to reclaim some strength and do a fight with the hill giant here, half giant. Gets a little bit of a pep rally from Ipsana, but he can't hear it. And Brenner is all jazzed to fight this half giant. Pretty sure that they can, just wipe the floor with them. As all of this is going on down below, Ladislas slams into this oasis, this beautiful place down in the valley, down below the mist and the fog, and finds the pool of life, which is a mythical place where there is a creek into a small pond in this oasis that actually has healing and life-giving properties. As she was scoping out this area and seeing the everything that was going on, ended up finding Josh, who begged her to beat him to death. And she was like, "I don't think I'm going to do that." We go back up top. Dowser does some tricksy things and ends up getting this half giant Garbanzo to make this a game of sorts. Getting to the center, having a little bit of a tuffle. Is that a thing?
Yeah.
Like a little fight with Garbanzo, getting pretty wrecked, hands cut up a little bit, but then eventually getting swung and doing some acrobatics to flip to the other side and then and get to the other side of the valley. Upon which time, Dindin steps into the ring, and instead of fighting like head on, runs into a pillar and knocks over one pillar into another pillar, and it crashes below Garbanzo's feet. But Garbanzo acts quickly and jumps to another pillar, and the debris falls to the ground below, almost crushing Ladislas. Danail was hanging off of one of the pillars, almost crushing Danail, and in fact crushing Josh. Danail and Ladislas scope out the area down below. Danail bottles some of the water from the pool of life, gathers some mushrooms for some ingredients and some healing potions, and then tries to help Josh out from beneath this debris. At which point, the debris just gets shoved off of this shifting, gyrating body that turns into a chimera right before everyone's eyes, Danail and Ladislas, and blasts its wings to the side, flying back up to where Garbanzo was.
What a strange looking giraffe.
Ladislas, there is no giraffe quality to that person. Also, hi Laura. After that, Ladislas and Daniel are like, well, I guess we'll just go to this cottage over here then. So they start making their way to the cottage. Up top, Dindin is getting, kind of a hit there, back and forth with Garbanzo. They are now far apart and like fighting at a distance. And then between them, boom, all of a sudden out of the fog, out of the mist, it is a chimera. The chimera is then about to be tackled by Dindin, but Dindin gets pulled back by Brenner. And they say, wait a minute, I want to ride the chimera. And so they do, in fact, convince the chimera to let them ride it. They don their steed and fly towards Garbanzo with all of their might and take Garbanzo out with one big swing of the blunt end of their halberd, knocking them down into the valley below, through the mist, through the fog, and into the pool of life, into the pond directly. They had guided themselves, Garbanzo, with the final hit in order to make sure that they would survive by landing into the pond, a thing they have done many times before. At this point, Dowser also
Bowser?
had gotten dragged into the valley below, hitting the ground, and instead of getting hurt at all, fell into a little bit of the creek that led to the pool of life and healing a little bit. Then had a little bit of an exchange with our Garbanzo, made their way both towards the cottage where Danail and Ladislaus were. Danail and Ladislaus had snuck their way inside a little B&E where Danail picked the lock, and they went in and they were looking for something. They found some old letters and pretty much nothing else except for a cat that was very cat-like. Ladislaus tried to have a conversation with, and it went very poorly. And so the cat stepped outside, frustrated with the way that Ladislaus was talking. The both of them then hid as Garbanzo and Dowser entered the cottage. And essentially what we get for the next 40 minutes is a revolving door of a comedy of errors where Danail and Ladislaus...
Comedy of error.
Where Danail and Ladislaus try not to get seen by Garbanzo, try to get Dowser's attention,
Bowser?
and try to get out of the cottage before anything bad happens. And
That happens. I just,
this is
I got you. I got you.
no one has to do any of this.
I mean,
No, you had to.
no. Okay, John and Laura, that's enough. That's enough in the chat. I think
Keep
we've all
going.
I think we've all had our fill.
We
So,
haven't.
Basically, some crumpets were turned to make people sleepy. Dowser eats them instead. Ladislaus turns accidentally permanently into the cat of Garbanzo, whose name is Pistachio.
Okay.
And
Wait, what are the other cats' names?
they're
He
all
has three.
they're all
Does
Pistachio.
they have three? He has three.
They have three. They have three.
Cashew.
Well, they only had
Peanut.
one, but then but Danail, who is invisible, who is really, really trying to get out of this cottage. I can't overstate that. There was a genuine need to get out of here. Tried to use mirror image on the Ladislaus cat to make it more difficult for Garbanzo to pick out which one was the fake, and accidentally summoned two real identical cats to everyone else. So now there are four almost identical looking cats on the ground in front of Garbanzo, and Danail had accidentally also gotten rid of the invisibility that he had. Garbanzo turned around to see him as he was trying to evacuate the cottage, and then basically football checked Danail out the door into the main yard in front, where Danail pulled out his rapier, the demon-filled rapier, and was ready to do battle. Up top, Brenner and Dindin were just kind of chilling with the Chimera, who Brenner had named Nicodemus. And Brenner was teaching their father about the birds and the bees, about where babies come from. Nicodemus really seemed to get it. Dindin was having a little bit of a tougher time. And at the end, they heard the blast of Danail going through the door of the cottage and had decided maybe they should in fact go down there. The very last thing that we saw was Danail sheathing his blade as Garbanzo asked if he was here to destroy either the oasis or the cottage, which were the two places that Garbanzo felt were safe and sacred to them. Upon which Danail said no, and then was asked if he had read the letters, and also no. And Garbanzo said that it was difficult not having a family around anymore. And Danail said, I don't have my parents either. And so Garbanzo led Danail back inside and said, do you know which one of these is my cat? So these cats are starting to try and hold you down, Ladislaus. So I'm
Oh boy.
fight.
Cat
Okay. All right. Oh boy. I was just gonna say This is I've been spending too much time with Monster of the Week because I was gonna say, can I roll for weird to see if I can just make them run away from me? But why don't I use my powerful strength to keep them away?
Okay.
My strength is +0. That is a 10.
Hey!
0.
Ooh.
Now, am I clear? Did you get rid of the weak ability?
Good question.
Oh, I don't
No, I did not. So it's a 9.
That's still some yum strength you got there.
Oh my god.
This is horrible.
Okay. I love this.
Prepare for 2.5 hours of this, William.
Yeah, so these cats like approach you, and you're either going to be pinned by these cats, or you're going to actually hurt one of them.
They're just okay. Any of them seem like bad people?
They're cats.
Two of them are just suddenly created cats, and one of them is
They're
like
the most
But do they
powerful
seem
thing.
like, are they like assholes?
they're cats. Yes.
Okay. Well, I feel I'm not gonna hurt any of them. I'm just gonna let myself get pinned.
Okay, you get pinned to the ground, and the one cat that you know generally is Pistachio comes up to you and he goes, "Hey, why are you impersonating me? And why did you bring these two here?"
It's not really. I want frankly nothing more than to not be a cat anymore.
Save it for the judge, the jury, and the executioner. And
all 3 cats sharpen their
and
claws.
Pistachio turns away from you as Garbanzo and Danail re-enter the room. I just want to remind everyone, Dowser is asleep in the fireplace.
Yes, that's right.
To answer your question, technically all 3 of them are your cat. I think this is kind of an anomalous wild surge. I kind of like gently kick one of the cats. Technically, this should just be an illusion, and my foot just passed right through it. I think if you give me like an hour or two and I can just kind of rifle through my spell book, I might be able to dispel the effect.
No. I'll have 3 cats. That's fine with me. I mean, I'll take 3 cats. I'm kind of into that. But there's 2 holding one down. And
yeah, this one's my sister. And I'm just gonna pluck up Ladislas, who has the
you
sky
just
eyes.
do it. They're just cats.
They're just cats.
And then the middle one, the one that is Pistachio, that was like walking towards them. As you pluck up Ladislas, Pistachio looks pretty miffed, and is like shaking his little head, and then like goes up to Garbanzo, like 2 paws up on the leg. And Garbanzo's huge. Garbanzo, I would say is like Garbanzo's like 11 feet tall, and and all muscle.
So in other words, if you had a full-grown tiger, they had a full-grown tiger.
Damn.
It would look like a house cat to them.
Yeah, but this is a house cat.
So it's like a mouse cat.
Yeah, it's like a mouse cat.
New avatar creation.
Yeah. All right. Well, hold on. And Ladislas, you can hear this, and the cat is going like, "Wait, hold on. No. That one was trying to be me and steal all my food. We have to steal its life."
I'm just gonna. Can cats do that thing where they go? Or is
Like
that
a
just a
raspberry?
human thing?
Blowing a raspberry.
Yeah. You need lips for that, and cats don't really have lips, right?
Hey, William, can I roll for lips?
Oh God.
You can do a bleb and just be
Man,
like,
that sounds horrible.
Let me go ahead and roll for lips here.
I hate
Rolling
this.
for lips. That is a 7 + 2. That's a 9. I hold 2.
so
you
this
have
is like
lips-
a
you have
cat.
lips just long enough to blow your raspberry, and then they go away.
Perfect.
God, there's like fucking Roger Rabbit in here.
Horrible.
This is like fucking.
I'm
You know
picturing-
the.
So
You know
does
the
wait? Are you?
You go
Sorry,
first.
okay, Spencer, talk.
You know, like the aesthetic of like Annoying Orange, where it's just
Oh,
human
God.
lips photoshopped for just like
Oh my
30
God.
seconds. That's
my God.
Ladislas.
No,
There's
no. No.
And everyone watching knows it's deliberate and can tell that there's a lot of effort into achieving this effect. You know, it's not accidental. It's like they wanted this. Somebody chose this. Okay.
And what was yours?
No, I think yeah, because I was picturing like cat body, human lips. Is that
Yeah. Well, technically half elf lips, but who's counting?
Sure.
Who's counting?
I don't know. You rolled a 9.
Hang on a second. That's 3 lips. What's going on here?
So you
Last
blow
time
your
on
raspberry.
Hijinks and Handlebars, 3 cats grew lips.
You blow your raspberry, and Garbanzo picks up the other 2 cats off the ground, and then picks up Pistachio, and it's like holding them all like in one arm and like petting all of them, like going over like a conveyor belt of just petting cats. And all the cats are loving it. It's just enough like firm pressure, and it feels good. And Garbanzo just like looks at the nail, holding Ladislas. Okay, so hold on. That's your sister.
Yes.
Okay.
Your
sister is a cat.
Well, she was a bird. And she was a half elf before that. She's been a lot of things.
No, I'm sorry. Is that the bird that I swished
Knocked out of the sky. Yes.
Yeah. Sorry.
But it seems like we've reached an understanding and we're cool.
Well,
more or less.
Here's my deal. I'm here to make sure that you don't die when you go into the living.
By trying to kill us?
No, I don't kill anyone. I knock them down here, and then they get their life back from the pond, and then everyone's fine.
I could actually off that, if you do want to keep the cats, since again, I just want you to be mentally prepared. They are an anomaly. So the 2 that are mirror images of your first could disappear at any time. I'm not really sure. So enjoy them while they're around. I think they are an anomaly derived from the inherent magic in the oasis. So I would recommend not taking them away from their oasis. Maybe like bathing them in it. It may help their longevity.
Well, we can go do that right now.
I would love to do that right now.
We all sort of need a little bit of help. That said, if you could bathe, and then if you and I could just have a one-on-one, a go about it, because only one of you beat me. The other one tricked me, and is pointing at Dowser in the fireplace. This one I knocked out of the sky pretty quickly, and then
you don't want to fight this one. Can I just like give you verbal confidence? This one, so among the many things this one has turned into, includes a river, a giant stone which then crushed multiple people, living sand that then spread into people's eyes and mouths, then shot back out. Honestly, just don't.
Well, she sounds like she would be very at home in the living cave.
Yeah, here. I'm gonna start. I'm gonna set Ladislas down and
and we can all start Garbanzo's gonna go reach into the fireplace and just pick up Dowser.
Dowser on the shoulder.
And then put Dowser on the shoulder.
Dowser nuzzles into their neck. Dowser sleeps here.
And they're gonna set down all 3 of the cats, and start heading towards the pond.
Garbanzo.
Can I? So all right, I won't fight your sister, but I need assurance that at least most of your party is going to be able to take care of themselves, because the one up there that just knocked the hell out of me, I have no reservations about letting them in.
Was it the bird or the kid?
The kid.
See, the kid doesn't even fight. That's not even their primary skill set.
That's not. Hold on. What do they do normally?
Well, normally they heal mainly. They do that very well.
Heal and then also kick the crap out of people.
Yeah, frankly, they're much better at mending injuries. Honestly, it's really, I think it's kind of a comfort zone thing, and I think now that they have really stepped out of their comfort zone, they're just really starting to thrive.
Are they?
Demon blood.
Cause fear, do some psychological magics.
Does it just say demon blood?
Demon blood runs within.
Okay, well, we actually exorcised the demon. There was a demon in them for a while, and it's currently sealed in my blade.
Oh, demon blood.
And the two of you are coming up on the pond. I do want to go to Dindin and Brenner. You at the end of the last episode, you said you were going to go down into the valley. Is that your plan? Is that still what you are doing?
I think that it would be for the best to look for the kids. Yeah.
Then Nicodemus, like
Nicodemus.
kind
Sorry.
of kneels down on the ground, splaying their body to the side so that both of you can climb onto him.
Thank you. This is odd.
And Nicodemus just like side eyes Brenner.
You good?
Are you gonna get on?
Oh.
Wait,
Yeah.
did it talk before?
No, I didn't talk just now either. That was me. That was me, the GM.
I like the idea that in Griffin form he has a totally normal voice.
Yeah,
Hopping on or what?
Sorry,
Yes.
Nicodemus?
Brenner, I think Brenner kind of gives Nicodemus a few, wants to elicit a purr. Oh.
Nicodemus is like very adverse to like the petting for a moment. It's just like,
Well, I don't need to ride.
Pulling away.
I don't need to ride on you to
A
go down. I
chimera
can
is
just
not
jump.
a dog.
Just jump.
okay. Nicodemus like
Well, it
shrugs
worked for you.
and takes your dad down into the valley.
Okay, so then Brenner is gonna fly down. I'd like to roll for wings.
What? Whoa! What?
No, hold on. You can totally do this with your cloak.
I mean, that's true.
Just say how you're using whatever stat you're going to use to get wings.
That's true, actually.
Why are you showing off right now?
Yeah.
I mean,
How do you do it?
Okay, well, yeah, I think Brenner just backs up a little bit, has their cloak, has a nod to Ipsana, like a mental wink. It's like, you got me. And then Brenner's gonna book it, and then right as they leap off the edge, they're gonna spread their spread their cloak full length.
Okay, roll. I mean, you still have to roll Defy Danger.
Okay.
That like dexterity maybe?
I
For the flourish?
I don't even know. I think it
Or
would be like
charisma to convince the cloak that it's wings?
yeah, I think something like that. I think charisma to convince the cloak that it's wings.
That is some coyote trickster god shit where you just convinced a piece of fabric, hey, you remember your wings, right?
I got a 10.
Yeah.
Cool. Can I ask what kind of wings?
Yeah.
Because they come in many forms.
They're like archangel wings.
Cool. The big like
feathered,
white feathery
yes.
and
Yeah.
hell yeah.
Damn. This is probably a sight to behold as we're all walking down to the pool and Brenner's just kind of...
You can fly.
I think literally...
Wait. Dowser wakes up. Dowser like starts to wake up with us and just says, "They're flying now."
Brenner,
Honestly, right?
Anything else?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, so yeah, Brenner. So I mean, everyone who's down by the pool, it starts to get very breezy. It's like a, and Brenner just very gracefully, very angelically taps the ground. Oh,
Angel.
And then we turn
and
back
then behind it, doof, a giant chimera.
yeah, the chimera boom right next to Brenner.
Everybody, the flame is in the water. You should take a bath in it. And then a nap in the fireplace too. Very healing.
Oh, hello. What? Sorry, Brenner. Could you always do that? What was that?
I really don't know, Dad. I just my confidence is blooming. I don't know what's happened. But I thought it, and then I said to myself, well, if I can think it, I can do it. And I did it.
All right. And Garbanzo's like pointing at you, Brenner, from across, like a little. You're maybe like 25 feet away from each other. All right. That was a good hit.
Oh, hey.
Yeah, that was great.
Thank you.
Wow.
I was very specific in not wanting to really hurt you. Are you okay?
Oh no, yeah, I'm fine. I made sure that I fell right into the pond, the pool of life. All of you are welcome. Take some drinks, bathe in it, do whatever you got to do. It'll heal you up real quick.
Ladislas just jumps out of Danae's arms right into this pool of water.
Sure.
How like a cat.
Thank you. I'll do so as well.
Danae undresses his stuff because I don't want wet clothes.
Dowser's also gonna get in the water.
Are you getting in the water?
Yeah,
It's a beach
but
episode.
slowly. Like Brenner takes their time, like going up to
Okay.
it and kind of. Can I do something?
Yeah.
Is it possible for Brenner to learn the powers of this water as like a healing tool?
What do you mean?
I don't know.
Study it.
Somehow, like, is there a way that I can, or Brenner can?
Like learn the magics
powers
of
that
the
future use
pool?
them.
Yeah.
Probably not. Not
Okay.
necessarily.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then
So,
then Brenner just eventually dips in.
Yeah. How many hit points do we get?
Well, if you just if you stay in here for 10 minutes, you go to full.
Oh,
Dowser
hell
will do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Hey, William.
Yes. Oh, and
Does
if
any-
you drink it, then like generally, if you drink it, I would have you roll a d4 for like healing. But like if you're just in it and around
Dowser
it,
drinks
nothing.
it.
Okay, what's up?
What happens if I try to talk to this pool?
Oh, you're gonna try to talk to the pool of water.
Yeah.
I mean, you can. Yeah, go for it.
Hello?
Hello.
Oh, hi. Are you the pool of life?
Oh, my dearie, I am the pool of life.
You know, you're kind of legendary.
Oh yes, very famous.
Would you mind? Would you tell me a little bit about yourself?
Well, I'm a pool, more of a pond.
Can I be-
William, we can cut away from this, but what I'd love to do is if we're staying here for a minute or two, I would love to use my studied essence. When you spend time in contemplation of an animal spirit, you may add its species to those you can assume using shapeshifting.
An animal spirit.
Yeah, except I have Thing Talker,
Right.
which applies my studied essence to the sand, the sea, and the stone, and also anything that is
And pool of water.
yeah.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Cool.
I mean,
So,
yes.
and also, last question: any chance this pool turns me back into a half elf?
No.
Cool. Okay.
Anything else you want to know about me?
Do you heal? I am having a bit of a problem with my magic. It kind of keeps misfiring a little bit.
I
I
don't.
don't suppose you do that kind of healing.
I do all sorts of healing. I bring your body back to oneness. Is what I am to do.
Okay. Can you do that can you do that now?
No, you're real fucked up.
Oh. Okay. Well, thank you.
I mean, hold on, stay here for a second. I mean, sincerely, I need to get this across. You're all sorts of I don't know. I've never encountered how truly messed up your magic and body are.
I've been so many different things over the last couple of weeks, days.
I don't know what
weeks.
you did, but there's some sort of a disconnect from your original self and whatever it is you have going on. I mean,
Oh well, I did die Could that have done it?
I mean, many things can happen when
And
you die.
Saw death
Well,
in
you
the
saw
flesh?
Well, I figured you had seen death when you said you died.
Hey,
But I
I'm
like
just-
saw the death, the being that is
Oh,
death.
yeah. No, we go way back.
You do? Oh, I guess that
I'm
kind
the
of
pool of
makes
life, and that
sense.
thing is death. I mean, what do you think?
Yeah.
The river that the river that it crosses when it comes towards you?
Uh-huh.
What do you think that's made of?
Oh.
It's
So
made
you're
of
like
life, baby.
That's
me.
you're like eternal arch enemies?
No, we're friends.
Oh.
We get beer together every Wednesday.
Hey, I'm just staring at Ladislas. What does this look like?
Ladislas
Um,
does not talk verbally.
So is it
when
just like
she
going?
is-
It's
Yeah,
lapping up water.
I open my mouth and it just sounds like a bubbling brook.
God, horrifying. You're a cat. And light shines out of your eyes.
Garbanzo looks very distraught.
This happens more
Garbanzo.
often.
Okay.
Can you just like give it? What's the sitch like with the cave?
I just need. It's really dangerous. It's the most dangerous thing you're going to encounter for the most part. And then Garbanzo like points up, and is like, minus the hole that ripped open in the sky and the dragon that came out. That's
Because we fought the dragon, we survived.
You fought the dragon and survived, yes, but this isn't something you can escape from. I mean, you enter the cave, and the cave will rip you up and spit you out, and you will be dead unless you are prepared for it. So,
Well, we are pretty prepared, but why don't you come with us?
no, I have a duty. If I go in with all of you, and somebody else comes along in the meantime, and they get across the valley, then they go into the cave themselves, and then off they go.
Isn't there a way to maybe place a spell over the cave, like a shield or
We tried. Magic does not work on the cave. It is a living magical being.
Well, why don't we just have our daddy break the door to the cave it in, and then bust us out when we're done?
Well, we tried to cave it in before, but it always redigs itself. It is a living cave.
How fast?
Pretty fast.
If you don't mind me asking, why do you care about if people die in the cave or not?
Well, because people dying is bad.
We have to save lives, Dad.
My parents always told me that I had to care for every single living thing on this world. I mean,
Yes.
because of how big we are.
Was your parents also the flame, Garbanzo?
Oh no, I mean,
Oh, yeah, we may not know it.
neither of them
It
were
just-
called the flame.
What I'm trying to say is, you could be seeing your family right now. You know these are dire times, right?
Oh no, I doubt I could see my family. They went into the cave.
Why don't you come with us?
No, because they're dead.
They're dead, but they sent a bunch of letters back, huh?
No, I got those letters before they went into the cave. And I can't even, you didn't hear it because you're a cat and you can't speak things.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Get in here.
So it's a living cave. Like when we say living cave, like my mind goes one of two places, and I'd actually like to try and classify these better if we could. My first thing is like, is this like living? Like, is it all like wet and slimy, like we're walking into the mouth of a worm, or is
No.
this like an elemental entity where it's more like the spirit of a cave that carves itself?
The second one. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, there
Alright.
is like acid everywhere.
Oh, what?
Oh.
Like a tummy
Um,
acid?
No, I don't really know.
Then
Well,
how-
if it is a spirit, I do have rituals to contact that, and we could possibly engage in communication with it. And Ladislas is also very capable at communicating with nature spirits.
I
If
mean,
you can,
yeah.
well, I was going to ask: is there anything you can tell about its behavior, its patterns? If it has any agency, what does it want?
I don't think it wants to. I think it's just like a construct or something, like a really big thing that was made a long time ago.
Is there any way I can't imagine that's the only way to get to Novray.
Well, no, there's a couple other ways. So, okay, here's the deal. So there's the living cave, which you'll keep going forward through these mountains for a little while. It'll open back up just a tiny bit, so it's not just you all walking in single file. And then you'll come across a hole in the ground, like a large hole in the ground, and that with a slanted ramp down into it, and that is the living cave. And then in front of you is just plains, and then you keep going into a path. You enter into the forest that no one has named, because why would you?
No, wait, the forest doesn't have a name yet?
Yes, the forest would no.
How many people do you talk to that might go to the forest? How much could you spread the possible name for the forest?
Well, nobody goes to the forest, because if they go to the forest, they die.
Tell people not go to when you tell them not to go there.
It's a part of the peaceful pass.
What is?
The forest.
The Great Dowser Forest.
Well, no, it has a name. The pass has a name. The forest. Well, sure, the Great Dowser Forest. Why not?
Yes. You don't go there. Very dangerous and heroic.
But it's part of the peaceful pass. So if you go up above and you don't go into the cave, you go through the peaceful pass, and that has a 0% success rate. Everybody dies.
Not everybody has a forest named after them.
Oh, well, that's fair. But, I will say, I've never seen anybody successfully go through that. I've never even attempted to go in. And then just above that pass, there is let's see here, the perpetual happy storm of excitement and fun, which is just above the peaceful pass.
Did Brenner name that one?
Who's Brenner?
It's my kid.
Oh, the one who knocked me socks off. Yeah, that's the one. No, I don't. I mean, did you name it?
Sorry, it's Brenner names things silly.
The dragon's coral.
You think my names are silly?
No,
I put great thought into them.
They're quite wonderful.
Well, 2 seconds.
They're very wonderful names, Brenner.
So anyway, the perpetual happy storm of excitement and fun is just above, and that is also a 0% success rate. I've seen people with flying capabilities. I've seen people who can turn into birds, all sorts of things. Try to fly up above that, and Garbanzo like gestures to the Chimera that is just like chilling here, and the Chimera is like not touching the pond or anything. By the way, like not trying to heal or whatever. So the storm just kills you. It's impossible to get through that. And then to either side are the chill peaks. Chill peaks 1, chill peak 2.
Sounds great.
Well, no, they're
awesome.
chill because they get like so cold. It's like sub-zero temperatures that if you try to climb up them to get to Novray, you die instantly as well.
0% chance of even consideration.
I have seen frost giants die from cold up on those peaks.
Nope.
I do not know a being that can stand that amount of a low temperature.
But
So basically, I'm sorry, Brenner.
we do have Dowser, who creates fire, could keep us warm.
This is true, and to be honest,
no
as much as Dowser is shaking in his sparks, you're saying no one can do it, and this does make Dowser we need to try.
I have not seen any fire that has made it all the way up the peak. It goes out every time. Too cold.
So the bottom line is, if we want to get to Novray from this point, which just happens to be a cursed place in the world, where just everything just has the capacity to instantly kill you. Is that more or less the only way that's relatively safe is through the living cave?
Through the living cave, yeah.
Dowser, sorry, but did you all not see this coming when you heard we were going to like a winterland? That it was going to be dangerous and horrible? I mean, this was all Dowser was thinking about.
This is this world's version of Australia.
Frankly, I was thinking the same thing too. But I mean, if all these options have a 0% survival rate, who on Earth made it through the living cave that makes you think it's a viable option?
The living cave doesn't have a 0% successful rate. I would say the people who passed me who actually complete my task of beating me in a real fight. I'd say about like 60% of those make it through.
Do you have some kind of survey or questionnaire that you pass out afterwards on the other side?
The fight is the survey.
I don't know if he can hear that actually, because I'm still.
If they can
Just-
hear that.
yeah.
If they can hear that.
Sorry, if they can hear that, because I am still cat and I
No,
am
you're still a cat.
Okay.
Yeah.
More of this. Okay, well,
Can I
Uh-huh.
can I do a discern realities as kind of part of asking this question? Because I kind of want to ask, what should I be on the lookout here for, specifically regarding the living cave? Like, how exactly does it kill you? Does it like, I mean, you specify a person has to beat you in combat, and that's a very martial, physical task. Does it like crush people, and so we need to have the strength to resist? Understanding the nature of the threat helps us bypass it, because combat's not the only way. And I rolled a 9.
So you get one question.
Yeah, and I would like to ask, what should I be on the lookout for?
great.
I mean, here, I'll just do this in character. So all of you, Garbanzo like gestures to have you kind of like all gather around. You're like now you're all just like sitting with your feet like dipped in the pond now or whatever.
Okay.
Garbanzo's like standing in the center of it. I'm not just a martial fighter. I use my wits. I'm quite intelligent. And the way that I have structured the pillars and everything, you have to be dexterous. You have to be quick. You have to think on your feet, and you have to be strong in order to get through the living cave. It will try to crush you. It will try to trap you in a room and fill it with acid. You will come across areas where there are only pillars to jump from one to one to one to one to one to get to the other side. I mean, anything that this cave can throw at you, it will. But these are things that people can prepare for. The peaceful pass, the peaks, the chill peaks 1 and 2, the perpetual happy storm of excitement and fun. None of those can be prepared for.
Not even with literal lifetimes of preparation and saving the world multiple times? You think no?
What's a lifetime if it's quick and short and you don't get to see what happened?
Well,
Hey,
did you
William?
save the world?
Did you say, hey, William?
Yeah.
Yeah, what's up?
Did the healing waters affect statuses at all?
Yes, your abilities are gone.
Whoa.
I take off some like tape around my arm, and then I wrap it around my knuckles. And I kind of like do like a warm up. How soon can you go?
Garbanzo like lifts their shoulders and like cracks their neck, steps out of the pond and is like, hold on for one moment. I just gotta get prepared. And you see them go over and like start pushing boulders, like these huge boulders, just like shoving them into an array down here on the like mossy floor of this valley. And they do this for it only takes like maybe like 3 minutes tops, and they get them like sort of in a similar pattern as like the pillars were up top, but they're more in like a circular pattern. They're still about the same distance apart, and it's like, I just need to keep you on your toes, and I need to give you that element of like, you know, you could fall and you could whatever at any moment. So if either of us gets knocked off of a pillar and falls just onto the ground, that means you lose. Or if one of us goes down just like physically, that means you lose. Deal?
You got it.
So Garbanzo goes and jumps onto the center like giant boulder, and most of these have like semi-flat tops, but they're not as flat as the pillars were up top. And Garbanzo reaches out a hand towards like near the cottage, and the axe that was like rested on the outside of the cottage suddenly like perks up and like flies, and boom, just like Garbanzo catches it in their hand and gestures for you to step up onto the boulder.
So weapons are okay then? You don't mind?
Oh yeah,
being
weapons
cut
are
up a little
great. You're gonna need them in the cave.
bit?
Let's see what you got.
All right.
Garbanzo holding this axe that is like, and they are huge. This axe is like, the axe head is the size of their body.
All right. Kids.
Yeah, Dad.
What's up?
Brenner, you're actually good. You can sit this one out, but I actually agree with this person here. If we're not fit enough to defeat this giant, then I don't think we're fit to continue our journey.
Agreed. Well, now, lad, go ahead. Dowser has some swimming to do.
All right, and then I like sprint into Garbanzo.
Cool. Yeah. Do you want to play out this whole fight?
Let's. Can we dwindle it down? I feel like this. Yeah.
If we're looking for kind of team input, I would personally enjoy an hour to sit in contemplation of my spell book to kind of prepare and realign myself with the fabric of reality.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to do a roll for something with the water. That shouldn't take too long.
Okay.
So
And I'm just here studying it.
So William, I'm gonna just dwindle it down to, and then they fought. But what can I roll for that?
How about we both roll a d6?
Okay.
Add your strength modifier, and whoever rolls higher wins.
Okay.
You want to do like 2 out of 3?
Sure. You want to do 2 out of 3?
Yeah, let's do 2 out of 3.
8.
3.
Okay.
Again?
Mm-hmm.
And again, they raced into battle against one another.
4.
5.
Oh,
Damn.
It all comes down to
All right.
this.
I'm bloodied down, and then this is like coming down to like the last punch or whatever. 6.
cool.
4.
And so like we kind of like end up like knuckles in each other's cheeks or whatever.
Yeah, and you and the final blow, like you just like you both land hits, and yours is like a little bit of like a stretch out of your arm, and Garbanzo gets knocked back and falls off of the boulder pillar.
Thank you.
Thank you. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. I thought you might be okay when you knocked the pillars over up there. That's some quick thinking. That's that good stuff that I'm looking for.
You have very.
I'm gonna chill in the pond for a moment.
Would you mind if I joined you?
I don't mind at all. The more the merrier.
And then we do that.
Yeah, it's like it's almost like a couple of dads just chilling in a hot tub.
Got their natty ice. That's a bad drink.
White Claw.
This is our Hot Springs episode.
White Claw Wednesdays, gather around.
And I mean, essentially, like, so Dindin and Brenner won. And the way that Garbanzo like sees it is like, as long as like a majority of your party is okay.
Why do we keep excluding Dowser from this narrative?
Well, Garbanzo does look at Dowser, who is still in the pond.
Swimming like underwater as much as he possibly can, only coming up to breathe when he absolutely needs to. I can tell you why whenever we want to get to that, but keep doing this for now if you want.
Okay, I'm sorry. I was
Not a
laughing
big
at
deal.
what John said in the Twitch chat. Chilling in the hot tub 10 feet apart because they're not dead.
Wait, Jonas, I have a theory.
A theory?
Can I posit a theory?
Oh, about what I'm doing? Sure. It's
Yeah.
very super exciting. What's up?
You're a salamander who absorb things through their skin. So you're trying to absorb as much of the healing water as you can.
Oh, that's very nice. That is not what I'm doing, but that's an
okay.
idea. No.
You're an axolotl, and by exposing yourself to an aquatic environment, you're adapting, and you'll grow the cute little fuzzy like feather fins that axolotls
Wait,
have.
can I do that?
No,
Those things are so cute.
that's
Can
good,
I evolve?
You wanna evolve?
Potentially. And I think I'm gonna do could lead to evolution, but
They would
that'll
look so great with your beard.
Okay, we'll talk more. So Garbanzo heals back up and then points at Danail. When you're done with everything that you're doing, you want to hop on the boulder with me? It's either going to be you, the cat, or the lizard.
That's the one.
Sure.
You won on a technicality. I can't let you go like that. I like you too much now.
Dowser comes up for a full breath for a second. You mean to tell me you think the cave can handle Dowser's technicalities?
I don't know that you can convince a cave of anything. I don't know. I mean,
Dowser and Last share a look.
Yeah, we've got some tricks.
Here's the thing. I've only ever fought one other salamander.
How old are you?
I'm like 34.
Okay.
It was very recent too.
Doesn't sound important. Say something else, and I'm going to roll I'm going to roll. You know the one.
I do know the
Firebrand.
One.
Oh,
We're
that one.
introducing them to
Introducing a new thought to an NPC or a new idea, which this one being talk about something else. Basically, what I had done to
it sounds boring talking about
earlier.
something else.
Yeah. Oh, I don't think that's gonna do it. Because I think I only have a +2. Yeah, that's a 6.
Oh, okay.
So it gets really excited about the idea.
I know. I won't talk about something else. In fact, the reason I'm bringing it up is because I wiped the floor with her. I beat her easy. And she was trying all the same little tricksies that you were trying, and I knocked her down to the valley below. And I was making sure nobody else was coming across the path, making sure she was alone, doing some final checkings. And then I hopped down into the pond to see where she had gone, see if she had, gotten into the pond, got some healing, and so she could, go back home. And then I look up the wall on the other side of the valley, and I see that she's got these little footprints, these little handprints leading up the entire wall. And turns out she can just climb walls.
But she couldn't do the trixies. She couldn't really do the fire and the talking to you. The trixies, she couldn't do them.
Oh, no, yeah, she could do stuff like that.
But it didn't, not like Dowser.
Oh, yeah, she produced this, blue bow and arrow, just, out of her mouth. It's made of fire.
But it wasn't strong, though. It was like a baby one. It was like a baby weapon.
No, it was really strong. I just was able to catch her off guard a couple times. I mean, she was having trouble with the pillars just like you were.
Sounds fake. Dowser doesn't like it. He goes back to swimming under the water.
Well, all I'm trying to say, Dowser, is that I let her go by because I didn't know what she was capable of, climbing those walls and whatnot. And who knows if she ever even made it through the living cave. And that sort of thing haunts me.
Can I do my roll right now, quick?
Yes.
This might be a good time for it. So basically what Dowser's been doing, the reason he's been underwater is he's keeping his eyes open as much as possible. Dowser sort of has this theory that because the pool of life has healing properties, and he understands all life to be traced back to the flame, the eternal flame that is all life, right? So he's thinking the flame must exist in this reservoir somehow. So he's going to be trying to do his lore of flame, which is when you stare into a fire looking for answers, roll wisdom. It may just not work. I kind of want you to decide that. But
sure.
If I succeed, the GM will tell you something new and interesting about the current situation. And basically the situation Dowser is trying to ponder with it is its existence and connection to the flame and how that might be useful for him on his journey.
Cool.
Ooh, I hella want Dowser to just get like a vision of the other salamander swimming in the pond.
I think it's an 11. It's 9 plus wisdom. It's only 10, but still.
What was your in your inquiry? Was
So,
its existence like in relation?
No, actually, that is what I said. The question I wanted to ask, what I was thinking earlier was, what is the flame keeping from Dowser? Because there's like what else is the flame keeping? Because it has been clear to Dowser there's already some stuff.
Yeah.
So Dowser wants some information that the flame doesn't want to give him. Maybe this lake will. And that's a 10. So on a 10 plus, the GM will give you good detail versus an impression.
So you submerge and you tap into the life-giving property of this pond, the pool of life, and then you come to the surface out, and you look down and you see your blue little hands, and you see yourself crawl away from the pond, like look left and right, hearing like the footsteps of Garbanzo coming towards you in your direction, and then you and start suctioning your hands and crawling all the way up the wall of the other side of the valley, and then you come away from that first person perspective, and suddenly like it's like this person just starts walking in front of you, and you see very clearly a blue salamander walking off in the distance, like through the snow, wearing like 6 coats and like shivering, and then stopping for a second and looking back and looking you right in the eyes, and then like turning back again and continuing forward.
Wait.
And then you are shoved back into fire, and you see the clanging of metal, and you hear this, and you start seeing something take shape as it is being melted and worked and melted and worked and melted and worked, and then cooled off, and finally like you see steam emitting from this water of this metal piece that had been placed into it, and it is lifted up in front of the face of a red salamander, a salamander that you are just now recognizing for the first time as a Dowser.
Dowser?
And as the steam and the smoke evaporates in the air in front of this metal piece, it gets set down next to 5 other metal pieces, and you see an array of siphoning runes. And you snap back.
Dowser gets up and like starts walking over to the cliff wall where he had seen the blue hands like climbing it. Danail's still down here, right? Or has he gone up?
Yeah.
Danail's still down here.
As he's walking over, he's like, Danail, do you know much about the siphoning rune?
It's been the subject of my study for essentially since we got in the first place. I mean, I could tell you what I know, but I'm by no means an expert.
Well, it is close as the Dowser has. Dowser's just curious. Was thinking about it swimming. Always wanted to know more about them.
Well, as far as what I've been able to observe, it seems direct contact via skin engages it. Based off of what we witnessed in Syndrol's tower. So whenever I handle it, and I'll actually pull it out to kind of discuss, and I use kind of Unseen Servant or Mage Hand to kind of keep it suspended. And I like get another Mage Hand to kind of unweave the layers of like wrappings I have around it. So I've been avoiding direct contact. Based off what it seemed after it took, it drained an initial portion of, I think, yours and Dad's and Ladislas's energy back in Syndrol, so it may be harmless for you to touch this. But I mean, that's I'm not telling you to try and touch it. I do believe it functions on a somewhat divine nature. It channels divine magic, which
that makes sense. Great
uh,
power.
what where I don't fully understand is where the drained energy goes towards, or how it was made. And if I understand the magic that was put in there, because think about it like this. And I'm gonna actually pull out my blade. Um, in spell casting, many wizards use what is called an arcane focus. This is where, like Gambador, I believe, had a great big old staff. And such a thing becomes a conduit to the fabric of reality when a wizard is trying to cast their spells. But and wands and staves are the most common arcane foci. But unconventional things can be as well. As I kind of hold my sword. So in a sense, it's as if the metal that was cast in these weather vanes, it's not necessarily the metal itself, but rather the enchantment that was stored beneath it that holds power. But at this point, it's kind of like the magic of the item and the item that is magical. It's all kind of interchangeable at that point. Sorry, I kind of went on a bit of a tangent. Did that answer your question?
Some of them. William, sort of like with that information, but also with the fact that I got like good detail in my vision, were the ciphering runes that were created the same as what like we have here?
Yes.
Okay. How many did Dowser see?
5.
And you said that Dowser recognized them as Dowser. We haven't established how long ago the last Dowser was. I think it was more than 30 years. But unless you have other thoughts about that, like of the Arcane one. But
this Dowser is old as hell.
can you give me like a range?
Probably like 1,000 years old.
Cool. Well, you mentioned you don't know where they come from, and Dowser doesn't really know much either. But Dowser can tell you the answer to that one is very simple. As with all things, and Dowser like puts a hand on Danail's shoulder. It came from fire. And then Dowser's gonna go back to the wall.
And Garbanzo is gonna look over at Danail again and be like, "We're doing this."
I was thinking about just, turning invisible and slipping past you and being like, you can't fight what you can't catch, and just, slip out the back door as I have done many times in my life. But yeah, I think I'd like to try something. How potent is the water? If things got messy, can it like put bodies back together?
Yes.
All right. Now, Garbanzo, just for the nature of safety, this sword is well, I suppose cursed would be acceptable. It houses a spirit of a demon that has been trapped inside of it. I didn't want to use it.
Wait, there's a spirit of a demon inside your blade.
Yeah, and I'm going to use the sword on you.
Oh, okay.
Just so you know, I was actually thinking about, I didn't want to use it, but
I don't know. I think you pass.
Are you sure?
Yeah,
but I mean,
won.
but I mean, here's the thing, Garbanzo, and I mean, here's my personal anxiety. But like, what if? Because I don't know. I mean, if the cave is as dangerous as you say, then perhaps there will eventually become a situation, and even if it's not in the cave, but beyond the cave, where the danger is so great that I am forced to use every resource at my disposal. So maybe we can just like practice here a little bit, and I can try seeing if I can use the demon blade as an arcane foci while fighting with you, and I'll use the demon blade on you first when it's safe.
Yeah, no, super safe. Really safe. Love the idea.
I mean, demonic magic is inherently very destructive, so it may be wildly unpredictable. But like here, if like something happens, we can just put you or I back together.
I vote no.
Yeah, I mean, a win's a win.
Because who's to say? Because Garbanzo, have you ever encountered a demon?
No.
Wanting to go into the living cave and
no, never encountered a demon.
Danail, we don't know if, because let's say you pierce Garbanzo with this demon knife and Garbanzo becomes possessed, and yes, they end up falling down into the pool. Who's to say that
demon waters?
Well, that or that the demon would be expelled again.
Well, actually, about that, and how my rapier, in terms of artificery, kind of like Dowser and I were just discussing with the nature of these siphoning runes, I've actually inscribed the ritual of containment on the blade, and so the same powerful magic that was used to seal Zoz, the dragon turtle, beneath the river. So I'm using fundamentally the same, and magic is kind of like an equation, you know. It's like saying math works here, math works there. So theoretically, the same containment that is occurring, that had occurred on Zoz, is occurring on my blade, unlike the sacrificial daggers where there is very deliberate intention in the daggers being vessels used to transfer, to be able to store and deposit.
Yeah, let's do it. Come on.
Oh, fuck. Well, now I don't want to, you know. I
Well,
mean,
now you
okay, shit. Well,
I don't know.
Just use a normal sword, Danae.
you know what? Fine, let's do this. I don't need it. I've psyched myself out. I'm gonna pull out my dagger. Yeah, let's do this. You're literally twice my height.
Well,
Let's get on these boulders.
yeah, and Garbanzo hops up. What did you want to do?
I would also like to expedite this as just 2 out of 3.
Yeah, we can do 2 out of 3. So let's narrate it a little bit. So let's go with this first one. First roll, it's D6.
Yeah. Oh, we're just doing a D6.
Yeah, D6. Yeah, let's just do a D6 flat because we're just
Cool.
gonna.
Danail got D6 flat 4. Danail's gonna, using the dagger, try and go swipe low and hack at the legs.
Yeah, and Garbanzo tries to like maneuver out of your way, but ends up kind of like slipping on one of these like the boulders, the rocks, because it's like they're more used to like fighting on a solid flat platform, and you like you get your knife like right across the legs for the first attack here. Garbanzo,
the dagger also has very close range, so I'm able to get like almost pressed up against Garbanzo's leg.
Yeah. And you go in for that move, and Garbanzo doesn't even like hop back or anything. Doesn't try to get out of the way anymore. Like you've made contact with this, and then Garbanzo takes up like both of their hands to just like bring them down on your head. So roll another.
All right. That's a 6.
I rolled a 1. So.
I'm gonna, as Garbanzo tries to bring both their arms down, I'm gonna duck, slip past between the legs, underneath the knee, and then just shoulder check the back of Garbanzo's knee and topple them down.
Yeah, they like kind of like retch out in pain, and like they as they smash like one knee down into the boulder to stop themselves from like falling out of like the ring, like essentially, and then like power like get the axe like back in their hand and swing like without looking like back at you in order to hit you and like catch you off guard.
Are we not doing 2 out of 3?
Wait, yeah, didn't Danae win the 2 out of 3?
Well, roll this final one for me.
You know what? Yeah. Since I'm pretty ambidextrous, I'm gonna pull out my hand crossbow. We're gonna flex. We're gonna do a backflip to dodge the blade. And as I'm doing it, I'm gonna shoot a crossbow bolt right in their butt.
Oh yeah.
Right in their
That's
butt?
a 5.
Okay, well,
right in the butt.
Yeah, so you hit them right in the butt, and they just like arch back and go oh, and then fall off of the boulder. Like,
Get some.
That's their one weakness, is the butt.
Danail was very nervous about fighting. It's just that like frenetic energy.
And then Pistachio comes over, and like you see Pistachio lap some of the water into his little mouth, and then goes over and just spits it on Garbanzo's face, and goes over and gets some more, and like it comes back and spits it on Garbanzo's face again. And like after the second one, you see the water like soak into Garbanzo's skin and like glow a little bit, and then Garbanzo wakes back up. Okay. And then drags themselves into the pond, like pulls the bolt out of their butt and like tosses it back to you. Souvenir.
Well, I mean, if I left it for you, it'd be a souvenir of me, maybe. But like, if you're just giving me my bolt back, then it's just one of my bolts, and I'll shoot it at something eventually.
Excuse me, that was in my butt.
Well, now that it's washed off, it's literally interchangeable with the other bolts. Look, I've put it away. I can't tell which one. Hang on, I shake my quiver a little bit.
Sentimentally a souvenir. I think
you know what? Every time I draw from my quiver, I will think of you, and every time I shoot somebody else in the ass, I'll be like, Garbanzo, this one's for you.
That's right.
Garbanzo was the first.
Okay, well, yeah, I trust y'all. You seem really strong, very capable, good fighters, good thinkers, very dexterous. I think you'll be okay. Dowser?
I want to roll to see what position Dowser's in, actually, based on what he's been trying to do. Because when they call over to me, I might not be on the ground. But basically, Dowser thinks he knows how what's her name? Lupe. Yeah. How Lupe did this, and even if not, he's going to try to do this. So stone, we can all agree metal, we can all agree comes from stone. It is like reworked stone. So what I want to try to do is use my handcrafted move, which is what lets me craft metal objects using my hands, basically like conjuring heat and fire within myself, to effectively sculpt the stone as I'm climbing and create like bouldering grips as I'm going up.
Cool.
That's amazing.
This is fucking Toph creating metal bending right now.
You're reverse Tophing.
Yeah, a little bit. So yeah, I'm gonna try to do defy danger, constitution, do my fire conjuration.
Yeah.
And try to climb this wall. Okay, that's a 5, but it's +2, so 7.
Yeah, you
What does Garbanzo see as they call over to Dowser?
They call over to Dowser, and you are like you have climbed like maybe 4 feet up onto the wall.
Twice Dowser's height, just about.
And your like fingers and your little hands are like melting away the rock and like giving yourself these little holds, but then like it is really straining and like kind of difficult to do. Mm-hmm. So you're like just kind of like stuck hanging there.
And it's like conjuration after conjuration too.
Yeah.
That's Dowser.
What I was gonna say, well, none of you need to fight me anymore. I feel confident with you around these other people, your family. I think everything's gonna be okay. Also, you have a Chimera. Don't know where that came from.
I thought he was with you.
Sorry, what, Din?
I thought he was with you.
No, never.
Oh, that's Joshifer.
I thought you're a Chimera.
What?
The what?
Well, no, Josh was a person.
Joshifer?
Yeah, Josh. Back out way. They were at the bottom.
The cocky one. The one that was like,
yeah,
like
we're both Chimera bastards. Apparently his was a little bit more literal.
Can you turn into that?
Wait,
no, this is just stick and poke. His was Zeal did his.
Wow. And I think Brenner goes over to Joshifer, and says, Joshifer, I'm so sorry. I named him Nicodemus. I just thought, and I'm sorry. It's good to see you again. Thanks for helping out. I can call you by your actual name now.
Yeah, and the Chimera, like Chimera Josh is like nodding and like, kind of like tilting the head to the side, is like, yeah. You reach up to pet Josh. Josh leans into the scratching. He's like,
okay.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Josh, you can't really talk right now, but like, can you just like scratch out in the dirt? Like, what were you doing down here? Are you trying to get through the cave, dude?
Were you trying to get through the cave, dude?
Trying to get through the cave, dude.
And then Josh like points at
dude is thieves can't. Dude is canonically thieves can't.
Great.
Josh points at Garbanzo, and Garbanzo just goes, "Oh, this is the fella that I was fighting before with the 2 rusty daggers. Good fight. Roughed him up quite a bit, knocked him off the pillar, and fell into the valley below. I guess he turned into a Chimera."
How long ago was that fight? He was just sitting there. It's kind of seemed like you were just waiting for us. Did you like forget to got Josh? You know what? We're on our way. I'm not gonna ask too many questions here.
Actually,
I knocked Josh down. I made sure Josh wasn't with anybody else. I came down, and he was drinking out of the pond, so I thought he was going to be fine. So then I went back up onto the pillar.
I was wondering, it is getting pretty late, and you've done us a great favor by getting us accustomed to what's to come, and I'm sure it's been a while since you've had a proper meal. Would you like to?
A really big smile across their face.
Would you, if you'd allow us to stay the night, I could cook something up for everybody.
Please.
Dad is a very, very good
Oh,
cook.
you will die from cooking.
Come to my pantry. I've got loads of ingredients and I don't know how to use them.
Oh, you've got to try the crumpets, everyone. They're so good they'll knock your right out.
And I think we are going to take our break there. So we will be back at 9:06. Will you 10-minute break? 9:06 is when we'll be back. So we will see you then. Go get a drink or whatever you need to do.
Yeah.
9:06. Bye. So y'all have a really wonderful dinner made by Din Din. A dinner made by Din Din. Some Din Din from Din Din. And Garbanzo completely like overjoyed and very full of love and also food. Just well, it looks all of you like you are welcome. You know, the couch is a pullout.
Can Dowser just use the fireplace again? That was honestly perfect.
No, of course. Yeah. You can use a fireplace. In fact, it might be nice. It'll keep us all cozy.
It's so cold here.
Yeah, it's a little nicer down here in the Oasis, but yes, up there. I mean, with those biting winds and everything. Yeah, definitely. I've grown used to it though.
Kadislas pads in the door and comes up to Dowser and kind of like paws at him.
Do you want to be picked up, little girl? Good lady. You're so fluffy. Do you know it?
And then turns around and heads back out the door.
Dowser's doing like the coochie coochie chasing the cat very low.
Hey, what's Dowser's pss, pss, pss sound? I want to hear that again.
Kadislas leads him back to the pool and is kind of gazing into it. And William, I want to roll shapeshifting to see if I can speak the human tongue or the common tongue. 6 plus 2, that's an 8.
You have it for one conversation.
Okay. Dowser, can you?
God, I'm sorry. Dowser didn't forget that you were not just a regular cat, but he forgets how weird it is when you do that.
So I've just been looking into this pool for hours. By the way, also one thing we haven't addressed in a while, Ladislas is a half elf, or well, technically of elven descent, and they don't eat or drink.
Right.
So she probably would not have been like, she would have like showed up for the dinner just to like make appearances kind of things and chat with y'all and whatever, as much as a cat can, but wouldn't have actually eaten any of the food.
Is it it that they don't eat or drink, or they don't have to eat or drink?
You don't need to eat or drink.
Okay, so you could, just have a nice dinner with your family.
That's fair.
I think some milk for you.
We're on the road. We need rations. Like
Sure.
I think it's smart. Like eat a bite of something, but save. Yeah. Yes, you did plus.
I think I turn to Dowser and I say, I haven't been able to get very much out of the pool. A lot about how it's the pool of life and it's legendary and all of that, but not a whole lot of actual substance. I was wondering if you might convince them to be a little bit more forthcoming?
Oh, I mean, well, that's funny. The Dowser was looking at the water for a while too. Dowser had a theory, which does seem correct, that the water is actually a source of flame.
I heard you saying something about that earlier.
You can hear through the glub glubs.
Yeah, I speak, I think, most languages.
I suppose, yes. Well, Dowser can certainly try. Most of the time it is the flame that talks to Dowser, not the other way around, but a lot of things are going differently than Dowser expected, so the Dowser can try.
Here's what
Uh,
I'm thinking. If you could just tell me what I should say, I can translate to the pool of life. And
oh.
maybe I can get some more information. So essentially, mechanically, what I'm thinking is like
Mhm.
if Dowser rolls his
Aid?
no, the convincing. What is
Oh,
that thing?
sure.
And then
Yeah.
Ladislas can roll aid to translate to the pool of life.
Sure. Yeah, that's fine with me.
Cool.
Cool.
So I'm gonna roll, I guess, a parlay.
What's your one where you like?
Oh, where I'm seeking answers. I guess that is what we're doing, Laura Flame. The
Yeah,
thing that I
yeah,
had just
yeah.
done. I just roll
Yeah.
that again.
Maybe.
I mean that's good for me. It's
Sure.
rolling with a +1, so Idas is looking in, and is what do you want answers about, Sam?
So what I'm really trying to figure out is like I don't think this pool, like this water had to get here somehow. And I
Mhm.
want to know where it came from and how it is like if there's other pools around the not the continent,
Mhm.
and or if there's like underground streams, both because I'd love to be able to access them at some point in the future, but also like if this pool of life is connected to the river that death rides across, Ladislas is not feeling particularly good about their interaction with death, and would love to know if there's a way that maybe she can swim upstream back to life, essentially.
Cool. So I'm basically, because with the Lore of Flame, you're looking for answers about the current situation, and it's not really clear on if I'm meant to specify or if it's just general. But I think, yeah, looking and like asking questions, specifically about the source of where it came from, where else it can be found, and like its connection to other like mystical bodies of water, specifically the Lake of Death Life.
Here's the thing also, water always works its way into caves. It's usually what has carved them out in the first place. So if this pool can tell us anything else about the living cave, that would be great also.
Oh
Cool.
shit! The oasis of life is what brought the cave, the living cave, to life.
It would make sense.
Yeah.
That is, I'm at a 9, so if you can successfully aid me, that's a 10.
Okay. What is so our bond? What is our bond? Probably
I have +2 with you. I don't
Okay,
know
cool.
what you have with me.
I'm assuming it's +2 because I have you written down as one of my bond things.
Yeah.
You are my prey. Oh no. 5 + 2. Okay, 7. That gives you +1, but puts me in danger, I think.
Potential danger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. So that's a 10, and a 10 plus, the GM will give you good detail rather than just an impression.
Yeah. So you end up hearing Ladislas, the pool, the pond, this pool of life.
Oasis.
Dear, I'm the only one. I am the only one there has ever been. I am the only one there ever will be. I am the only one you will find here on this plane. But I exist on others. I am not stuck here like you are. And I don't know much about this cave. The living cave. I know that it was not always here, and that it became here. And as far as... And then it stops. And you get this really chill feeling that falls over you, Ladislas. And you start seeing flashes of your own death from before again.
Ladislas kind of like gasps and starts like stumbles back a little bit from the pool.
And then as you stumble back, you feel yourself like run into something, and it stops you before you can turn around. And as you feel this cold chill of a hand on your shoulder to stop you from turning, and suddenly you are back in your Ladislas form, your regular form, and you feel a cold, almost like lifeless breath leaning up against your cheek and your ear. And you hear, "Don't try to avoid me." And you snap back to feeling that connection with the pool of life. You're a cat again, still.
I think whatever they like cat version of just like fainting or crumpling to the ground is. I think I do that. I think maybe it's just like I just like pad down like as close to the ground as I can go, and I'm kind of giving that like low like growling like
Where your fur spikes up.
Yeah.
Did the flame tell you disturbing things too?
Yeah.
Dallas is going to give you a responsibility, if it's okay with you. You're technically older than Dowser, so it's fair.
Sure.
Dowser asked the flame in the water earlier, just sort of some information about what the flame is keeping from me. Dowser has learned a lot of things recently. Well, you heard about Lupe, who shouldn't exist.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. I also doesn't want to talk to the whole family about it because I'm still figuring it out, right? And it sort of throws it makes me begin to question everything the flame has told me, and the flame has told me some very important things to Dowser. You'll understand, and but there is some connection. This is going to be a secret. Dowser doesn't want you to tell anybody unless you think we must. And if you think we must, Dowser will follow you. But the flame, and more specifically Dowser, and Dowser like points to himself, made those runes that Danielle was talking about that we saw on the tower.
The weather vanes?
The weather vanes, the runes of trapping. Dowser did that. A long time ago. Long time ago.
Oh. Well, maybe you know how to destroy them then.
Dowser will keep thinking. Do you know, this might be a Danielle question. I know that you can not know things that you should. Is it possible for somebody to know things that aren't true?
I definitely think it's possible. Do you think someone lied to you, Dowser?
No. But before today, I hadn't even considered it, and now I'm starting there.
Back inside of the cottage, Garbanzo is heading off to a side room, just like it's one of the big like giant roots of this huge tree trunk that you are all inside of. It has for some reason it's just like it has a door that is like a little bit smaller than Garbanzo can fit in without crouching, so like opens up the door, and like when it opens up you can see it is literally just like a cot on the floor in there. Yeah. And Garbanzo turns back to everybody who's still in here and goes, "God, well, have a good night. I do have I have like a bell attached to some string and stuff. If it goes off in the middle of the night, then I have to go up to the pillars and make sure that nobody's going across or anything. So don't mind me if it's the middle of the night and I'm sneaking by you. All right.
Thank you.
Before you go to bed, Garbanzo, can I borrow a few spare pots and pans to do a little bit of brewing, if that's all right with you?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, everything that's mine is yours. Just don't touch the letters.
We won't. Right?
Are you sure that's not like a veiled? You want somebody to touch the letters so that they.
No. Those are just sentimental. My family, before we went into the living cave together, when we were trying to go, we were trying to go to Novre ourselves.
And you're certain you don't want anybody to secretly read it because it's difficult to admit that you have a desire to be understood, and that's the only way a person can really understand your trauma.
In clear terms.
Please don't.
He can't.
The letters.
Well, look, I'm just making sure, if you're speaking in tongues, I certainly speak in code of tongues, whatever.
Or do not touch or read the letters. Like, do not do anything regarding or to the letters.
Fine, I won't touch the letters. I'll just be in the kitchen making drugs.
We just don't. I'm sorry. Okay, well, I'm gonna go to bed. Enjoy your drugs. Good night, Brenna. And Garbanzo like stops for a second, comes over like right to you, Brenner, and like reaches out a hand to shake your hand.
Brenner extends their hand, and it's completely engulfed.
Yeah, it's this huge hand. Nobody's ever quite hit me that hard before. I just really want to shake your hand. I don't think I'll ever come across another fighter as good as you in my entire life.
Thank you so much. I don't think I've ever hit anyone quite as hard as that myself. So thanks for being the first. I'm glad that you've recovered completely from it.
Yeah, I think I have.
I'm still growing into
massaging their side.
This newfound strength.
Well, it suits you, fits you like a glove. You look strong. You be strong. That's what I say.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, all right.
Good night.
And Garbanzo, boof, 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 boof.
Is Josh still with us?
Josh is just curled up. Curled up over by where the fireplace is.
Mm-hmm.
But with like Dowser was over there. So Chimera Josh was hoping that it would be warm, but it's just like waiting for Dowser to come back. Curled up has like a Chimera still.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And is it safe to say that during this dinner, wine or beer of some kind was served?
Yeah.
Okay. Then I think Brenner, not wanting to be rude, of course, and imbibed a bit, and it's, Brenner knows their own limits, so they're not but they're at this very pleasant kind of buzz. And Brenner goes to sit next to Josh, and
I love the idea that Brenner thinks they know their own limits, but is deep down a little bit excited. Oh, well, I don't want to be rude.
Dad, I gotta say that was a really great dinner.
Oh, no problem. It's been a while since I've gotten to make something that's, like festive, Why don't we step outside for a little bit? Have a little talk.
Sure.
Bring the wine if you want. You earned it.
No, thank you. I mean, otherwise I'll just fall asleep.
And we step outside. I'm imagining like some sort of like weird like lookout like kind of like carved into the root where you could kind of just like peek into the forest or whatever. You did a good job today. This whole week you've been doing a good job.
Thanks, Dad. Yeah, I'm feeling stronger. I'm feeling confident. It feels good.
You are stronger.
Like I'm helping, and I'm really part of the group now, Yeah.
You're one of us.
Well, I've always felt like one of us. I mean, Dad, I'm sure you have something to talk about, but now that we're kind of on the topic, I've felt weird bringing it up. But I think the whole reason I'm feeling the way I am and why I am seemingly doing better to fend for myself, why isn't anyone acknowledging the fact that a demon came out of my back? I mean, you saw that, right?
I did see a demon come out of your back, but I also see you commune with spirits quite often. And frankly, for me, you'll have to forgive me. All of this is an equal amount of unbelievable. And Brenner,
I mean, we don't have to talk about it right now, but I just thought it was something that maybe should be brought up.
We can definitely talk about this demon if it made you feel bad or if it's been on your mind. We can. It's just so many things. You flew today. I haven't seen you fly since.
There was a precedent.
Say it.
Well, you know, since I found you.
So this wasn't the first time I flew?
You came from the sky, Brenner. The day I found you.
Like I fell out of a building.
I don't know where you came from, but you definitely floated down. Frankly,
I floated down.
I mean, it's why I kind of thought that children came. It doesn't matter.
Checks out.
Oh, yeah. Out of character. That
check.
was so cute.
The first baby you ever saw.
Oh, Din. Okay.
But
that's like, oh, everything is wrong.
Brenner, you are a very special child. And you're going to do great things.
Well, honestly, the only reason that will happen if it happens is because I have all of you supporting me and being there.
We have your back.
Well, can we? So, was there anything else? Well, now, why didn't you tell me that before? About how you found me?
Seems like the right age. I don't know.
I came from the sky. Would you be okay if I bring Ipsana into this conversation really quick?
It's a conference call.
Sit down here, and if you need me.
Well, no, stay here. Ipsy?
Yeah, hey, what's up?
You heard all that, yeah?
Yeah, no, I hear everything now. Direct connection, pretty great.
Do you know anything about my past? About where I came from?
Well, I've had like a connection to you pretty much from like when you were born. You know, all the other gods were looking over you and, you know, trying to see exactly what was going on. And then as you were growing up, I would like check in from time to time. And then finally, when they felt like I was ready to take on, you know, a spiritual person, you know, a disciple or whatever, they pretty much let me just go for it. And I've been sort of with you for a while, but like only like recently I even had a deeper connection to you, and then it was taken away from me. I think when they put a freaking demon in your back that nobody wanted to talk about, and then now that the demon's gone, I think like we're just golden. It's you and me, and I can like hear and like feel everything that's going on. I know what you've got going. I felt both how hard you swung your halberd to knock out Garbanzo, and also felt how much it like hit Garbanzo. It was pretty wild.
But Ipsy, out of character really quick.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a way could Brenner's cape, could like I tell my cape, if I put Brenner's cape on Din Din, could I then tell the cape anything I'm hearing Din Din could hear?
No. Sorry.
Okay.
In order to hear me, they have to be a disciple of mine. It's just the way it goes. I'm sorry.
No, that's fair. I guess. Well, so how was I made? Dad, maybe you weren't wrong about me.
You were made the way.
Oh, so then well, so did I fall from like a building or something? Like
not that I know of. I mean, like how old were you when Din Din found you? Or when you floated down from the sky?
Brenner looks at Din Din. I don't remember.
You were a baby.
To ask Din Din out loud because Din Din can't hear me.
Right. Dad, how old was I when I floated when you found me?
I would assume you were very small. You couldn't talk. You were like a.
That's like less than 1. Are we talking?
Yeah, it sounds like it.
So less than 1. Yeah, I mean, like as far as I know, like of your history and everything, you were made the same way everybody else was made. 2 people.
I know.
Yeah. So
2 people kissing
in a tree.
Sorry.
Yeah, but you're like we have no knowledge of like who your parents were. We don't know what happened to them or anything. You came to like to our radar, like our attention when you floated down from the sky and ended up in Din Din's hands. Like that's about where our records of you start. People like to assume that we're pretty omnipotent, all of us gods and everything, but honestly, we miss so much. It's pretty bad. You look away for like a second and suddenly it's been 2,000 years and like it's the Dark Ages and nobody knows why things are going so poorly. And
Well, I mean, don't be too hard on yourself. And a lot is going on all at once.
Well, at least I never did anything like that. I'm a very new deity, and I don't think minus like when the demon was disconnecting you and me, but I've been on top of it. Oh, and when you bonked your head and you were getting drowned in the river. Well, the demon was there. Honestly, like now the demon's gone, I think you're gonna be fine. I got you.
Okay, I guess that was all. Dad.
Did Ipsana explain everything?
Well, she doesn't really know. She's kind of, as far as I'm concerned, up to date as much as you are with where I came from. Which, I don't mind. I don't need to know about my biological parents because
What?
the people who made me, I don't need. You're my dad, Dad, and that you've raised all of us with so much love and care. That's really all that matters. I think Brenner kind of goes in for like a timid hug and like really squeezes you tight.
I squeeze back.
Danae, you're making healing potions, I'm assuming, correct?
Yeah. So I've got some slices of what I presume to be Amanita muscaria, commonly a predominant ingredient in healing potions. So I've just been kind of simmering that, kind of ground it into a paste and kind of boiled it into a distillation. So it's kind of like a very jam-like consistency now. So now I've been kind of straining it. So now essentially you just get the doses. I've been powdering some like reagents in there, just like a little chemical catalyst to kind of like really kind of like give the healing properties a bit more pop that helps the molecules bind together, more or less.
Yeah.
But I also have my spell book kind of unseen servant carrying it for me, so I'm kind of flipping back and forth between recipe pages, making sure I'm getting my portions right. And I'm also preparing the spell Contact Spirits. And whenever I kind of reach a point where it's I do the thing, I pull out a small little rubber hose that's used for that, so I have it going from one vial into another. So it's just kind of trickle dropping down. Found an old wine bottle, and then I have my own smaller vials to divvy it up once that's finished running. Well, it seems like I have the room to myself. So I'm gonna clear a little bit of space in the living room, and I'm gonna chalk up. I have time to do this, so I can, take my time, do this properly, like I can actually pour myself out a salt circle, I can light the candles in a pentagrammal positioning,
Yeah, and the whole time you're doing this, Chimera Josh is just like nodding in the corner.
And I'm going to contact the spirit of the living cave.
Okay.
Nice.
So that's a 6.
Ooh.
Sick.
I am the spirit of the living cave.
Can I have advantage since I took all that preparation work?
Sure.
Did it all nice and fancy.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You really took your time. You're not in the heat of combat. I'll let you have advantage. Why not?
Hell yeah. I rolled 2 2s. So this could make a big difference. That's a 4. Which is gonna bring us to 6 plus 2 to an 8.
To an 8. Okay. Cool. Yeah, so you can either take -1 when you do whatever, the cast the spell stuff.
So what I would like to do is I would like to draw unwelcome attention, and I think the double-edged swords of reaching out to connect with a spirit is now I see it, but it sees me.
Yeah, so you're standing in the middle of this living room in this cottage, and like it's like you are on an incredibly fast moving conveyor belt, and everything around you just suddenly like is like speeding by you, and you are standing still, and the terrain and everything around you, it's like like moving up and down, and you don't feel yourself moving, but everything around you is moving, and then boom, stopped. You are at the entrance to this cave. You see this just huge opening into the ground. I mean, it does like off in front of you, it's just flat, and then like in the distance, you can see the great Dowser forest. And up in the sky, you can see, hold on. You can see the perpetual happy storm of excitement and fun. And to each side, you can see Chill Peak 1, Chill Peak 2. And on like you can make out like on the chill peaks, you can see these mounds of something that are like leading up to the very tip top, and they're very small, but you can see just like distinct mounds, and it looks like they are like you can make out people that have been frozen solid onto these peaks. People of like varying sizes. Some of them are so big that you can really clearly see them even from so far away. They are these frost giants that thought that they could traverse the chill peaks to get to Novare and No Dice. And then in front of you, you see you see the living cave.
The chill cave.
Yeah, the chill cave. The living cave just alone. And suddenly it is all you're seeing. And the terrain moves forward again, like you in place. And you enter into the cave, and you are standing, and it is bright as hell, because it's like daylight in there. There's this glowing acid that fills the entirety of the cave from what you can see. And moving through it, you do not feel a presence coming from this cave. It is called the living cave, but you are not making a connection whatsoever. And then you hear a voice. Hello?
Hello.
How are you doing this?
Name yourself. And to be specific, Danail is kind of choosing his words very carefully, because how this magic works, and what Josh is probably seeing is, whenever Danail uses any magic rooted in like divination or scrying, it's kind of like a little spectral third eye opens, and it's kind of like prisma color going on, a little bit of wind, his hair ruffles, and being an Eladrin, it'll like shift through the seasons while this is going on. So that's probably what Josh is seeing. So how this magic is kind of like, as I'm seeking out the spirit, this is binding magic. I do bind this spirit to tell me, answer one question. So I'm being careful not to ask that, but name yourself.
My name is Landor.
Carlisian.
Landor, you are the spirit of the living cave.
Oh, no. No, I'm not. Wrong spirit. Beep, boop, beep. How do I disconnect? You're gonna let me go?
Danail's is holding on to this bond, but kind of at a loss. You kill those who cross through the so-called living cave.
Not me. No, I'm not the living cave. That's not me. I'm someone else. I'm a person. I'm a gnome.
Tell me more. This
Do I
shouldn't be
have to?
possible.
Well, I
could
guess
force
I
you
do.
to.
You can force me. Well, I would just like to spend a lovely evening with my husband. So if you could just let me go, everything will be fine. I'll never tell anybody that you contacted me. That nobody has to know. I have to tell you.
Landor, what? And I will call upon the binding magic of contact spirits. Landor, what is your relationship to the living cave?
I made it.
And
Don't
why
tell
does
me,
it?
please.
Well, at this point, we're going to have to enter negotiations, Landor. Now, you understand that travelers who attempt to cross the living cave are notoriously and
Killed.
violently killed.
Just violently destroyed. Yeah, that's the point.
So, as your creator, by law, it sounds like you would be responsible for this reckless use of magic.
Well, I mean, that's one way to look at it. Reckless use of magic, but I mean, okay, all right. Yeah, I'm feeling compelled to tell you things. My husband is in the other room, so I don't want to distress him or anything. So I'm going to tell you. I'm going to get him real close. I'm going to whisper. How do you whisper with this thing? Are you even talking to me?
It's just whisper in your mind. Talk
Okay.
softly in your mind.
I was commissioned to make the cave so that the cultists couldn't get to Novre.
We are working against the cultists. Who
Well, there's not
commissioned
much I
such a
can
cave?
do about it. They instructed me to make it so that not even I could dismantle it.
But what about them? I mean,
The
surely
cultists?
whoever... Well, not the cultists, but the commissioner. Whoever created this, surely they left a proverbial key under the entry mat.
No,
way for...
nope. They told me to do it with just my mind alone. Wait, you're not a cultist, are you?
I will tell you this freely. No, I am not, and my interests go directly opposite theirs.
Okay, well, whether or not you are, I just like have to tell you stuff, I guess. Magic sucks.
How do we bypass the living cave? And I'm
You
gonna try and
can't-
send a surge through the binding.
You can't do it. You can't bypass it. I mean, you could go above it and go the peaceful pass, but that just chops you to pieces. That's why it's called the peaceful pass. Yeah, you chops you to pieces and then you rest in peace. Like it's awful.
Had you planned that, William, or you just find it?
That's a callback.
Okay, cool.
And then you could fly above it, but then you go into the perpetual happy storm of excitement and fun, and that'll just kill you on the spot. It'll zap you real good. You'll go all dead and just flop down into the peaceful pass, and then get chopped into pieces and rest in peace.
Or maybe I could go ahead and climb up the chill peak 1 or 2 and freeze to death along the way. I get it. Who commissioned this cave?
The citizens of Novray.
The citizens of Novray. They just unanimously decided. There wasn't a government official who decided.
There is
wasn't
no government in Novray. It's just people deciding things together, and then they all, go to the town square and they vote, and then they say, "Yep, let's do that."
How does the cave operate? How does it target? Does it target people indiscriminately? Does it have any sort of...
Okay, I don't know. It just wants to kill anything that's inside of it. It's just like, you know what a Venus flytrap is?
Yes.
Okay, so it's a construct. It's a huge living construct that I made based off of my botanical studies that I did with, poisonous flowers and, Venus flytraps and everything like that. But they wanted to...
Really?
Yeah, I know, yeah.
I'm an alchemist. I actually would like to just like I would like I actually have some healing potions brewing right now. Amanita
Wait,
muscaria.
you need the living cave?
Yeah, actually.
So you're
we're on
pulling
that's
them from the oasis down in the valley, huh?
yeah. Hopefully are I'm just gonna soften the bindings right now. I actually am really sorry to kind of seize out.
No worries.
To be totally honest, I thought the living cave might be some sort of evil entity, and I could like force secrets out of it to guarantee safe passage. Yeah, but
Wait,
look,
is that
dude.
something you can do? Because that sounds metal as hell.
Thank you. I was kind of hoping it would be. No, honestly, here's the situation. My family and I are being pursued by the very cultists this cave is meant to stop. And we took this path hoping to avoid cultists. So I was just hoping to learn anything I could to offer safe passage for me and my family. Is there
Yeah.
anything you can tell me, Lander?
I can tell you that it shifts while you're inside of it. So you are meant to get lost inside of it until it can kill you. So keeping track of where you are and where you've been won't do you any good. I also designed it to create traps and, for people who walk on the land, people who walk on the walls, people who fly through the sky, all sorts of things. Low ceilings, not a lot of like room in there. And
Is it possible if I could perhaps temporarily dispel the mechanisms which it uses to shape or rearrange, or summon traps to
it's
kind
not,
of
it's not
slow
like a
or halt?
mechanism. It's not a spell or anything. The only thing I created it. It doesn't. It's living in the sense that it is like basically it is a construct, but it doesn't. It's not living in the sense of like you or me. You can't like reason with it. You can't talk to it. Didn't want people to be able to cast spells to stop it. They didn't want people to be able to cast spells to talk to it. And I am the sole owner of the information of how it was built. So the fact that you're able to contact me in my brain is kind of alarming and disconcerting, but
I would be alarmed too in your position. Is there anything else you can tell me as to how I might better my chances of success of crossing this cave?
I mean, there are living creatures that inhabit it. So be
So it
careful
is.
of those.
Right.
They are creatures that have grown inside of the construct.
Oh, interesting. I've heard that crafted elementa or automata, depending on your school of artificery that you've used to craft your golems or elementals or whatever, that it's possible for natural spirits to kind of develop their own symbiosis with flora or fauna and just kind of create its own what's the word,
Biome.
microbiome. Like a living biome.
No, yeah. I mean, absolutely. I've done this stuff on a smaller scale inside of my greenhouse as well, but I haven't really, done anything as large as this. I hadn't before either. But I mean, they trusted me. I had all the schematics worked out and everything. I was pretty sure I could pull it off. So,
I would honestly love
unfortunately,
to take a look at some of this. I'm sorry, I cut you off.
oh no, it's okay. All I was gonna say is, unfortunately, like there's honestly nothing I can do to help you. I, as far as I know, I built it pretty foolproof. I couldn't even survive going in it. I don't know.
Where does he live?
I actually, I mean, I would love to actually visit your greenhouse and look over some of these schematics. Are you a citizen of Novray? I would actually very much enjoy being able to just
Uh,
chat
no,
theory with you.
I'm not from Nova. I'm from Evram.
Evram? Right.
All the
Well,
cool people live in Evram.
my name is Denial. I was from Sindral originally, until the whole dragon thing happened. If I ever pass through, I might be passing through Evram pretty soon, maybe in a couple weeks, based at the rate I've been traveling. Probably less. Who knows? Would it be all right if I drop by with my family?
You're not a cultist.
I assure you, I'm not a cultist. I will tell you this because I feel you're fairly transparent, not interested in the cultists. You're working against them. I am actively working against the cultists. I am actively seeking to undo that which they have wrought.
Are you a hero or something? Are you gonna save the world?
I mean, I don't like thinking about it like that. Like that's just like, I don't know. That just feels very ego appeasing. It's just like, it's like it's a who will sort of situation. Like people just got to take responsibility for the wrongs that they see and do something about it. Or like, I don't know. I've done some fucked up shit when I was younger. So it's like, okay, cool. You've done wrong then. You can do good now. I just don't think about it. It's like this is what's right. Anyways.
No, I understand. I mean, like, please, if you don't mind opening up about that, my husband actually does a lot of counseling and talking with the people in the town of the city of Evram. I mean, if you come through, if you survive the living cave, I mean, you've got to be one tough cookie. So,
Oh wow!
I'd love to see you. Are you traveling alone, by the way? Wait, don't tell me that.
Oh no,
Don't tell me that.
I said I'm with my family.
Oh, it's right. You already told me that. Okay. Well, I'm okay. We shouldn't talk anymore until I see you in person.
I sever the connection to the spell.
And Josh is like still in the corner, just nodding.
Were you able to hear any of that, or was that just all psychic link? You're just watching the light show.
And then Josh is nodding back for it. Nope.
Right. That's a lot to ponder. Internally as well, how have I been feeling? When was the last time I checked in with myself, Josh? How do I feel about this?
Josh
it's just been a lot. It's like...
And then yawns really big, like a real yawn. And Josh is like, oh.
And it shakes the cottage.
Yeah, Duster comes in and like basically crawls from the front door into the fireplace and then just like poofs it up once he gets in.
And Kadislas follows close behind and curls up on the table.
And Brenner and Dindin, I assume, come back inside. And
we take out the pull-out couch.
Danail will like, whip out his cloak and make it, and we'll kind of sit close to kind of between Dowser and Kadislas, and just try petting Kadislas, and like, in the way the Danail will kind of lean in and whisper, look, I'm sorry if I've been on your case a lot. I don't think this is easy for any of us, and I'm sorry if you feel like I'm giving you a lot of attitude, and I'm sorry if I'm being hypocritical in terms of my actions. I'm just concerned for your well-being, and I know it might be a little bit selfish to, I don't want to see you die, Ladislas. I truly don't. And twice now I have seen I have seen your lifeless body and thought you were dead. And I guess by the grace of Ipsona, you're not. And I'm really thankful you're not, Ladislas. Just please don't be so reckless. I'm sorry. I hope that doesn't contaminate the apology. But just be cunning. Have a plan. Fucking lie. Anyways, sorry. And Danail's gonna eat some crumpets to not have to deal with silence.
Ladislas's breath rises and falls deep in slumber.
And the crumpets start putting you to sleep, Danail.
It takes a lot of them. I have a more or less an immunity.
You have a high tolerance. Yeah.
It's more of like a carbohydrate coma than the actual oil of Taggett.
The three cats come in through the cat door on the back, and they all jump up on the table as well and make a cat puddle with Ladislas.
I reach up to pet Ladislas, but I probably hit the wrong one.
And with Dowser cozying with the cottage and the fireplace, Chimera Josh lays down in front of it and starts to sleep as well. And all of you start to fade off in probably the first semi-peaceful night of sleep you've gotten since this all began a couple weeks ago.
This is our first time. This is Danail's last thought before he falls asleep, but this is like our first time to like be at home and feel like a family, just hanging out,
Mm-hmm.
And then it's really sweet, but it's also like deeply sad that it's also a reminder of what we have lost.
Up in the sky, there's a bird flying extremely close to the opening, this portal into this other world. And it's flying closer and closer, kind of around like the edge of one of the splits in reality. And it's going and going. And then there's a soft rumbling from up in the sky. It's not something that people on the ground would feel because it's not touching the ground. It's shaking the break between worlds. And boom! That bird is knocked out of the sky. And we zoom out to see what has done it. And it is the knuckles with just the tips of fingers pressing tense against the outer edge of the portal. Larger hands than anyone has ever seen. And next time on Hijinks and Dungeon World.
Bum bum bum.
I love
Dramatisch.
Rad Miss Fliss said, "Hi folks, what have I missed?" Like
Oh,
a
no.
couple minutes ago.
Oh no.
We're wrapping up. Thank you for sticking with us, everybody. Thanks for being here. That was the episode. So like I said, this is episode 16 of our Dungeon World miniseries. All of the previous episodes are on the QueueTimes main YouTube channel in a playlist called Hijinks and Dungeon World. If you get through all of those, you like all that stuff, and you want more of us, well, you're in luck, because we also have another campaign that we did for a long time that we will return to. That is a Kids on Bikes campaign using the Kids on Bike system, which is sort of like Stranger Things tabletop or whatever. And we have nearly 50 episodes of that. And that campaign isn't completed yet, but the first like 22 episodes ish are the first season of that show. So
An open and shut story if you're looking for that.
So if you're looking for an open and shut story, it does, like, that is something. And if that entices you, I would encourage you to continue watching that series, because I love that series. I love what we were able to do with it. I have bad timing. Well, I still love you. I'm sorry. Yeah. Well, you'll catch the VOD. The VOD. Cool.
VOD is for.
Yeah, so check all that out. Check out the rest of the shows on QueueTimes. They have like a lot of awesome stuff going on right now. There's the Klingon campaign, the Star Trek, like general Star Trek campaign. There was one that was just Rage Across New York or something. No, what is it? Yeah, that was right. Rage Across New York, which B. Dave Walters, I believe, is GMing, and that's going to be this Rage Across New York, on Friday, I think. I'm like, I watched the teaser trailer or whatever, August 7th. Okay, it's on August 7th. I watched a teaser trailer for it right before we started. It looks really awesome. Something about werewolves, from what I gather. From the teaser trailer, so that's really exciting. B. Dave also does one-on-one shots on Sundays, which is just him sitting down with someone, kind of interviewing them and like playing a game like one-on-one with them. And then following that on Sundays at 4:30 p.m. Pacific is Court of Corvids, which is a Pathfinder 2nd Edition stream that Jonas and myself are on. It won't be happening at that. Well, we might still do the Sunday one. We haven't discussed it fully yet. But this Friday at 3:30.
Let me see if I can see it on the website scheduling.
Pacific,
I don't know if it's going to be there.
3 p.m. Pacific, right?
I believe that's right.
Pacific QueueTimes. 3 p.m. Pacific. We are doing the next episode of Court of Corvids on Friday at 3 p.m. Pacific as a part of the virtual Gen Con.
William and I are going to be, quote unquote, at Gen Con.
Yeah, we will be at Gen Con.
Which is very exciting. I've always wanted to go, quote unquote, to Gen Con. I also wanted to go real life to Gen Con.
Yeah. So that's what we'll be doing. I'm sure it'll be like pretty. It's a continuation of the story, but it's going to be like at least, I think, a little isolated so that you can watch it and enjoy it like just as it stands. So feel free to jump in on that. That's going to be on Friday, 3 p.m. Pacific. It's unclear if it's going to be on QueueTimes' channel or on the official Pathfinder channel, Twitch channel. So look out for that. It's Paizo, excuse me. It's going to be on Paizo. So follow QueueTimes on social media. They'll have, I think it's _QueueTimes.
Yeah.
Just follow them, and they'll have all the information about all the other shows and everything that we have going on. So with that said, I mean, thanks for watching. Please share the show. Please reach out to us on social media. Please comment on the YouTube videos. Please, get other people involved, and we love interacting with you. There's been a lot of stuff going on Twitter recently. A couple people who had reached out to us on Instagram, and that's really awesome. And we love that interaction. Leave comments on the YouTube videos. I go and I find them and I respond to them, and I really loved what all of you have had to say. So cool. Okay, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at kwilliamwhite. I've been William, the GM for Hijinks Dungeon World, and I'm also in a band called Glass Beach. Jonas is also in that band, and our social media is all at Glass Beach Band. We have a Patreon, we have a Twitch channel of our own. Both of those are
/Glass Beach Band.
Yeah, /Glass Beach
or
Band.
glassbeachband.twitch.tv, right? No,
Twitch.tv
Twitch is still
/Glass Beach Band.
Yeah. So they're both /.
and then also we have a website, glassbeach.band. Yeah.
And
So
our first album, called the First Glass Beach album by the band Glass Beach, is available on all streaming services and in the stores that you should be avoiding if you can.
yes, don't go out to stores. Cool. I hope you're taking quarantine seriously. I hope you're doing okay through quarantine. I hope financially things are okay for you. I know a lot of people are struggling. It's very difficult, and also I hope that all of you are still keeping up with and actively educating yourselves and seeking out information about not only just the protests but about working out the racism, living an anti-racist life. I mean, there's so much that goes into that there are articles that have been shared on Twitter. I've posted and retweeted a lot of them. Seek that information out because you just have to, because otherwise if you just don't do anything, you're just going to continue perpetuating and being complicit in a racist and pretty horrible system. So just stay active, and that doesn't mean you have to go out and protest, especially if you're not healthy and you're worried about coronavirus. But just stay active in your own education, stay active in holding people accountable, holding yourself accountable, and doing what you can where you are. Yeah, cool.
I have been Jonas. You can find me on Twitter at Jonas Newhouse. I'm also in the band Glass Beach that William mentioned. I'm also on the Court of Corvids show, which will be at Gen Con on Friday. And Glass Beach related, I do a couple days a week, sometimes more, streaming video games on the Glass Beach Twitch channel. And this Thursday, I'll be continuing my weekly series of Toontown Tuesdays. Every Thursday,
Nice.
we're doing Toontown Tuesday, where me and my friends, including Spencer, and including anyone else who wants to get the free game, can come play with us. A group of people or a person, I'm unclear, rewrote the game Toontown. So we're doing that every Thursday. And you can find tweets about that from Glass Beach Band, or again on my Twitter at Jonas Newhouse.
Hi, I'm Spencer LaBelle. Thank you all for being here or watching the VODs live from QueueTimes, either or. You can find me on Twitter at SpabelVO. I do voiceover, I produce audiobooks, so if you're perhaps interested in any sort of including a vocal production to any sort of artistic collab or whatever, you're more than welcome to reach me out at SpabelVO on Twitter or at Splubble on Instagram. It's like bubble with a spluh.
Hi, I'm Sam Richardson. I've been playing Ladislas. You can find me on Twitter at Laggardson, Laggardson. You can also find me on the QueueTimes main YouTube channel, where I ran a series called Monster of the Week that features William and Jonas and our good friend Sammy, who just got married. Congratulations to her. She and her husband are both incredibly fantastic people, and we wish them all the best. That series is pretty near and dear to my heart. All 15 episodes of it, one complete story, are out. They're in a playlist called Monster of the Week, and they're wonderful. If you like stuff like X-Files or Supernatural or pretty much anything of that ilk, that is the sort of style that we tried to ape with that show, and I really am proud of how it turned out. There have been a bunch of people that have slowly been catching up on it over the last couple of months, especially in quarantine. And it's really heartening to see all of the comments from them being like, hey, this series is great. I'm going to go check out Hijinks Handlebars now, or I'm going to go, check out some of the other QueueTimes shows, or I came here from some of the other QueueTimes shows. That's really, really cool. So go watch it if that's your thing. And leave me some comments, and go check out all the other shows on QueueTimes too, because they're all fantastic. There's not a bad show on QueueTimes. I'm just gonna say that straight up.
I've been Franny playing Brenner, and you can find me on the social medias at JUST_FRANNIEK. It is very late, so mine is short and sweet as always.
The dog's coming to you.
Oh, hello, doggy.
I've been Chris Taniguchi, playing your good old Pelican Daddy Din Din. If you want to see what I do, I'm on YouTube and Twitter under the handle Tanametao.
And he's very good, and you should love his stuff.
Yes.
Aww, thank you.
I like it. It is. I want to say that I don't know. Chris doesn't like doesn't need to, but like doesn't like really express how good his work is. I know that can be hard to, but I want to be clear to everyone who hasn't like seen his YouTube channel and stuff. He makes really cool things, and you should check it out because you'll probably fall in love with it.
Oh,
I
Bonus
agree
Levy.
wholeheartedly.
I third that wholeheartedly.
Yeah, Chris hype.
Cool.
Chris
Okay.
hype.
Well, thank you.
Hype for
we-
Chris.
Hype for Chris.
Every Tuesday night, 7:30 p.m. Pacific. So hopefully we'll see you again next week
Yeah.
and with some friends and everything. So until then, bye.
Happy Tuesday.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.